see Shaq being very aggressive to start this game.
Well, that's the very important matchup, Danny. When David gets the ball, he's got to be just as aggressive as Tim was just then on Shaq to occupy him and to get him into foul trouble.
Tim Duncan had 28 points and 14 rebounds. Corkscrews his way into Grant. Ball deflected by Fox and Grant. Shot clock is alive, but 3 seconds to fire, and Daniels does just that.
Well, that's a huge play by David Robinson. Those are the things he didn't do in game 1 to stay active on the offensive board.
Duncan collides into Grant and finds it again. Tim Duncan has started the game 2 of 4.
Well, Duncan again is being very aggressive right there going to the basket, but he's got to know they're coming at him once he puts it on the floor.
We talk about the superstars, but these are the guys that have been playing extremely well for the Lakers, and David's got to stay focused. But talking about focus, Kevin, look at this guy. He's starting off great.
But again, they still have a 2-point lead. Shaq hasn't dominated. You pick your poison against this team because they got so many capable scorers.
Daniels for 3.
Shaq's kind of pacing himself, feeling his way into this game. But that time, Coach, he's unguardable when he just wants to get to the basket.
Very unguardable.
Duncan's got 6 and now 8, and he has been virtually unguardable to begin the game.
Well, that's what he's got to do. But again, David Robinson's got to pick up. Daniels has picked up and become very aggressive. David is handling the ball at the foul line without even looking for a shot.
Bryant knocked away by Tim Duncan inside. Danny Ferry goes clawing for the ball. Shaq vacuums it in. And out of bounds it goes. Off the Lakers.
Hey, those guys are battling in there right there for that loose ball. I love it. Right here, but Tim Duncan, he's there this time. Kobe gets by Terry Porter again, matched up. There's the Twin Tower we've been waiting for. Stop the lanes with the loose balls on the floor. Ferry, Shaq, everybody battling for it.
Johnson feeding Duncan over Orange.
I like how he's playing because he's just really not thinking. He's just playing. It's like he's just playing with freedom. He knows he's a superstar, and he's just out there playing, having fun.
Great spin move, rejected by Duncan.
And that's the Twin Towers we talked about in the open right there. I think both of them might have got a piece of that block right there. Fox does a good job. Sean Elliott, not the same defender that he was earlier in his career. Right here, good move by Fox. But there's David, almost gets a piece in. Tim knocking it back.
Robinson scoreless against Grant.
And with Shaquille O'Neal out of the game, they've got to go down the low post on Horry, whoever he's guarding.
Horry to Grant, tried to slam. Duncan with his 3rd block shot. Picked up by Elliott.
Now we show you what you mean. Here comes Horry to the basket. Tries to challenge Tim Duncan right there. They both go for the block on Horry, but they recover. Block, smothered chicken on Horace Grant right there. And there's David Robinson to get him a second time, causing him to miss.
8 minutes to play in the first half. Inside, Avery Johnson tapped up and in by Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan tonight has put in, well, they're going to give it to Johnson. Avery Johnson has just been credited with those 2 points.
Well, that's a mistake. They'll change that. They'll give that to Duncan. That ball was off the cylinder and a good tap in by Duncan.
And I think, Danny, they're doing a great job of going towards the basket.
Like right there.
Just like right there. Well, you look at this. Avery goes to the basket. He takes the defense. Duncan comes in and has an easy tap-in as a result of the penetration is important. Now you look at Tim. He's going to the basket. They're not playing timid and tentative against the Lakers. They're taking the ball to the basket and challenging the Lakers. Shaq will block some, but still they're on the attack.
Robinson picked up his 2nd personal foul. And the Lakers down by 9. They trailed by as many as 10. Duncan has room over O'Neal.
Great play by Tim Duncan right there. But Avery Johnson saw the trap, penetrated in, and gave Duncan a wide open shot.
So they've got to continue to be aggressive.
Duncan. How about the reverse right there?
Oh, that was beautiful.
6 San Antonio turnover.
Well, watch all the Laker defenders come over here to stop him. They put it on the floor. Brian Shaw's come again, baseline. That's the Cardinal rule. Kobe just runs right by him, doesn't do anything to help.
The Lakers have never led in this game. Not once. Duncan with 18 points. Double team. Oh, what a play by Tim Duncan.
I love his patience and poise. You know, they talked about the isolation versus the post-ups. A lot of times Tim catches the ball and steps off the block about 15 feet away, and it's easy for the team, for the defensive team to get there and double. Here he just backs in Horace. His patient right there. Now Fisher is a worthless help right there. Too little.
too late.
Well, and Tim Duncan has such amazing touch because he was actually bobbling that ball and losing it. Picked it up off the floor, went through two guys, and laid it very softly on the glass. Well, and particularly just before halftime, they're losing the ball and they're giving the Lakers, they're restoring the Lakers' confidence.
Duncan with the hook, puts it up and down. 23 points in the game for Tim Duncan, 15 in the second quarter. Daniels. Duncan slithers inside. What a pass. What a pass.
What a shot.
A pass. That wasn't even a good pass. You see that catch and that finish? That was awesome.
Well, his touch is just unbelievable, Kevin. And on the move to put a ball up on the board like that is not easy to do.
An outstanding 17-point second quarter for Tim Duncan.
Great catch and finish right there. Could have got the foul on Shaq. Shaq does a good job of getting out of the way, but an incredible second quarter.
Well, the Spurs have to get involved in transition. They've got to get down the court fast, still look to penetrate. If they become a jump shooting team alone from the outside, they're in trouble.
And that is the first San Antonio field goal.
Yeah, they played in certain areas, especially except this guy. This guy still probably has it, but the rest of the players are now starting to shaking their head and doubting themselves a little bit. And that was so crucial about what David did.
Technical foul on Phil Jackson. That's the second Laker technical tonight, one on Shaq and one on his coach.
Well, and we've got a lot of ball game to play, too, and I think that the game is even more to the Lakers' advantage right now based on the score. Does not matter. David's sitting on the bench in a position where you can't be as aggressive. Now, Rose's role in playing out there is a little bit different. He can't be as aggressive because they may need him a lot more later in the ball game. They try to get some more penetration baskets.
Duncan, the pump fake and the drive inside. Kobe came in the backside to help, and a foul on the Lakers. And that is a look at the Spurs offense tonight with Tim Duncan at the free throw line, notching his 30th point.
They're going to need a little spurt from Ferry or Porter or Rose, get him some cheap baskets on putbacks.
Spurs have 3 3-point shots. Duncan. Porter, the fake and the drive on Ori with 1 second on the shot clock, and he's got it.
And this will show what the Spurs are made of. You have to expect a run by the Lakers, and they just have to answer. They have to come back in.
Duncan twisting on Ori, and a foul called on Robert Ori. Duncan had 8 points in the first quarter, 17 in the second, 6 here in the third. Number 7 right there.
Well, not a bad substitution right there by Jim Clemens. Give Shaq this little 1-minute blow right here.
Since Phil Jackson's been ejected, Lakers on an 18-10 run. Duncan whacked and falls on his foul. But tonight, 100%.
He's focused tonight. I mean, he's into it. He's looking. I mean, he's not even taking. He doesn't even care about the double teams. They're double teaming him the whole game. He's still just trying to force his way in there and be persistent.
Duncan, who's had a horrible shooting second half. Here he comes inside and oh my God! What by Tim Duncan.
That was sweet.
Well, that was floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, what he just did.
Look at that move.
Oh,
7-footer.
Floating like a butterfly right through there. But David Robinson, tough foul. Did not think he got Shaq that time. Thought he had all ball.
When they're relying on that jump shot, they started early in the game to get a lot of penetration baskets, getting layuffs by forcing the Lakers to help. And now the Spurs have basically stood in the shell.
Kobe launching a 3. Good! Kobe Bryant with 28. That may have been the dagger for the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers have played over 7 weeks of undefeated basketball. A 3 by Ori, rebound by Duncan.
The Lakers are just playing on all cylinders. Everybody's contributed. Fisher, Ori, and Fox. Very timely shots.
Tim Duncan finishes with 40 points, but that'll do it. And the Los Angeles Lakers, with a huge win, will take a 2-0 lead to Los Angeles for Game 3.